Welcome to week 11. We have our quote of the week as our normal. Depending on how many people come, we'll have a Quizlet. If not, we'll just go straight to the poll questions. These poll questions have been pulled from highly missed final exam questions from the last couple times I've taught the course. So I also broke down the questions as well. We have our highly missed question review from both the Quizlet as not Quizlet as from the quiz as well as the knowledge check. And then I'm gonna get you guys out of here. I am going to be providing some additional like just resources, but I'm gonna timestamp that because I know you guys will want to just have time to prepare yourself for this final exam. Keep in mind that if you are missing anything, to continue to work on it. Now, for our quote of the week, you know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's by Wayne Gretzky. You cannot succeed unless you try. And that means you've got to take action. And you guys are already doing that. So keep up the good work. With that, the last day of the module, y'all, is Saturday. This Saturday, 16 September 2023 at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So you guys are doing amazing. Just keep in mind that all assignments must be completed before Saturday, 16 September 2023. That way you can just really concentrate on that final exam and then be done with it so that you can enjoy your term break, your much deserved term break. Okay, now let's get into these highly missed questions. All right, so I went ahead and put them all up there. These are from, of course, last week, coming from chapter 14. What HIM employee specialists? And since you guys already have the questions up there, I'm going to just go ahead and give you the correct answers. For this very first one, it is patient access specialist. All right, patient access specialist. Next question. Talking about someone in a profession is the most knowledgeable about what must be documented in health records as required by government regulations, accreditation standards, and third-party payers. All of these. The certification at the top of the coding ladder for a HEMA for physician office setting staff is typically represented by which credential? CCSP. Again, CCSP. And that was it for the quiz, right? Now for the knowledge checks. You see, there's only 4 questions. The HIMSS IT certification that has a target audience of professionals with 5 years of experience in the field of health information technology is KHIMSS. All right. Next one, meaningful use legislation has probably had the most effect on the job procedures of which of these following health information department employees? This one is the release of information specialists. I repeat, release of information specialist. Next one, the employees responsible for clinical documentation improvement have noted that one of the fields in their customer satisfaction survey is keyed to an inappropriate answer field. The process of correcting this within the database is referred to as cleaning. The very last missed question, and these aren't even highly missed, these were just missed. So here, this would have been questions that maybe just one person received. And I wanted to still give you guys some questions that you may see on your final exam. So a lot of these questions, maybe 1 or 2 people missed, okay? So you guys are really rocking it. Now, this last question, which field focuses on the development and support of the infrastructure used in healthcare delivery? It is health information technology, also known as HIT. All right, let me see how many of us are here. So there are only 3 of us here. So with that information, you guys, make sure you use the Quizlet, okay? There are so many questions from your knowledge checks, highly missed questions. You have everything from from weeks 1 through 10. So there is a lot of information, okay? Now, these next couple questions, we're going to go ahead and go straight to the polls. Like I said, today is not long, but we're going to go straight to the polls. And there are 10 oh, okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, give me a second, I'm going to copy and paste so that you guys can get to them and you'll be able to use them. Great question. All right. So the very first one I'm putting in is from weeks 1 through 4. See if it'll let me get it in here for you guys. Okay, so the first one is weeks 1 through 4. Okay. The second one is going to be from weeks 5 through 10. My microphone is just acting up, of course, the last day. 5 through 10. Okay, so copy. All right, now I can preview really quick what we were going to do. Yeah, with 3 of us. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears, okay? Awesome, you got it. So now this information is really going to help. It's just an additional resource that I really think will help. Again, of course, you guys are doing amazing. So just keep doing what you've been doing. Remember, you have been here before, all right? So the first one again is weeks 1 through 4. The second one is weeks 5 through 10. The cool thing about Quizlet is you can actually combine both of these, which I'm going to be working on. And you can have both of them come together and you can actually quiz yourself that way. All right. So keep in mind that that's another option so that you don't have to click out, click out, get into the other one. You can combine both of them as you're studying, but these you can use while you're in line at a grocery store, if you're just waiting for an appointment or something, just an additional resource to kind of help you out. Okay, now we're going to get into the poll questions. Now, the cool thing about these is that I was able to grab 2 questions from each week. Okay, and I tried to make sure to grab the 2 highly missed questions from the last 4 times I've been blessed to teach this particular course. So you will see questions. Keep in mind, though, that your final exam, 70% is from weeks 5 through 10 or 6 through 10, okay? 70%. Now, that doesn't mean not to concentrate on weeks 1 through 4, but, just to give you kind of that, like a heads up, like 70% of these questions are from weeks 6 through 10. Also, on your announcements, I uploaded a study guide as well as like a chapter review that's already on your announcements. The chapter review should have opened up automatically this Monday. Okay, so hopefully you have those study guides, and the study guide is just a guide, okay, just to kind of like guide you. I was able to review 3 different versions. So I tried to get as much information to kind of guide you as to what to look at. Now for the poll questions, for those of you that are watching at home, you will be able to follow along with us. Okay. There's no time frame. When you guys are majority completed, I'm going to come back and we'll go over them and get you guys out of here for your break. All right. In about 1 minute, we'll go ahead and go over these answers. No pressure. I'm just giving you kind of a time frame. In about a minute, we're coming back. All righty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. And for those of you who are watching, you will be able to see the answers. The very first 6 are going to come up, but I'm just going to go over the questions that they had. Okay, so for the very first question, it was from week 6. Okay, so for the first 2, they're from week 6. Now, the question that they received, a review of documentation to ensure that it is complete, thorough, and accurate is qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis. Correction, quantitative, not qualitative, quantitative analysis. Okay, quantitative. Next question, again from week 2. The average weight of all the MSDRGs representative of the severity of all patients admitted to a facility are the case mix index. So keep in mind that the case mix index is that average weight of all the MSDRGs. Like that is the definition of the case max index. Tongue-tied on this Wednesday. Next question that they received, using public health, clinical outcomes, or consumer health to organize standards is an example of. That is an example of educational domains. Now, other domains or other approaches to organize standards include functionality, medication management, and educational domains such as public health, clinical outcomes, or consumer health. Okay. Number 4, you see 2011 to 2012. Well, the question that they received was, the first stage of meaningful use occurred during what time frame and focused on capturing data by electronic health records? 2011 to 2012. That is the very first stage of meaningful use. Okay. You may see that question before. You may see that question again. Next question from week 8. What type of theft occurs when a patient uses another patient's name and insurance benefits to receive health care? That is medical identity theft. Number 6, again from week 8. This term refers to protected health information that has been rendered unusable, unreadable, or indecipherable. That is unsecured PHI. The next question was from week 9. Which of the following is not, keyword not, to be expected as part of a patient portal capabilities. Now, they had a couple options: core measure abstract for chronic disease, radiology images, home health instructions, or physician summaries. Here, of course, the answer is core measure abstract for chronic disease. Now, a core measure abstract for any disease process is a part of the quality assessment mechanisms at a facility or hospital, etc. But it would not be shared document with a patient necessary for continuity of care. So that's why it is not to be expected as part. Okay. Number 8, still week 9. Patients who believe that this partner in their healthcare is not a proponent of the physician portal are less likely to participate. And that is your primary care position. Now, patients who believe, or if they have a sense that a physician is just not on board with the patient portal system, they are most likely gonna bypass and not really want to be a part of it. Okay, so primary care position. Now, a lot of times when patients do see their physicians enacting, it makes them want to get on board. Okay. The very last 2 questions are from week 10. General equivalency mapping includes crosswalks in which of the following directions? You see the answer is forward and backward. Now, mapping in both ICD-9-CM to ICD-10-CM and backwards is the direction that is provided with GEMS, which are general equivalency mapping. And the very last question that they received, again from week 10, the certification offered through a HEMA that reflects proficiency in health information technology in order to assume entry-level roles in workflow assessment and selection of software and hardware includes system testing and installation. Now, they had RHIT, CHTS, RHIA, or CQI. Now, the answer, of course, is CHTS, but let me tell you why. Now, the Certified Healthcare Technology Specialist, CHTS, this is the ones that take an exam that reflects proficiency in health information technology in order to, again, assume entry-level roles in workflow assessment and selection of software, hardware, including system testings and installation. So that is straight from the definition of that particular exam. So I wanted to give you these because you may see some of these again as you take your final exam. So good job, everybody that was able to take it with us. Now, this is the last week of the term. Again, if you guys are missing anything or if you want some clarification on something, y'all just reach out before your exam because I want to make sure you have every resource available to you. Let's finish this week off of the module strong, start our break stress-free. Also, if you have not taken your survey, I believe everyone has, but just in case you haven't, keep in mind that we really want to hear back from you. For those of you that are watching the archive, you've made it to this portion, okay? What was the, I don't want to say most difficult of the chapters, but which week in this module did you find the most difficult and why? And let's talk about what, we see and what we felt in the discussion forum. The quote of the week: you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I will put the Quizlet in the announcements again, and I'll probably send you guys an email just as a backup, or a Moodle message just as a backup, so that you have the 2 links again. Just in case you weren't able to see them, you will get those again. The final exam review, the chapters, they are also on your announcement, so you'll be able to go back at your leisure. This is actually the module wrap up. What questions do you have for me?
I'm good.
All right, no questions. Okay. Well, this is where I bid you adieu. Again, I am going to provide some mindfulness exercises after this, but I'm going to timestamp it so that you can kind of go back, because just as you are preparing physically and emotionally, it's still good to take care of self. You guys have been working so hard. It has been extremely hot this summer, at least from my location. And you guys are definitely going to get some much deserved relaxation, I pray, and a great break. So I will be continuing on with the mindfulness exercises. But for everyone, you guys, it has been truly my pleasure to be able to take this journey with you. Have a wonderful term break. Be safe. And module 7 is right around the corner.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Okay, so like I mentioned, I am going to go ahead and start the mindfulness exercises right now. I am time stamping them. For myself, in the Navy, I used to have horrible anxiety. Let me tell you. So once I got out, I realized that a lot of my particular stress is just getting in my own head, you know, especially with these advancement exams. So if you have had a family member in the military, especially the Navy, they can attest that those advancement exams are stressful. Okay. They test you on every portion of the military. And not only are they testing you on every portion of the military, they're also requiring that if you do not pass, which I've always passed, then it just makes it harder for you as you continue in your career. They also have quotas. So even if you pass the exam, you still have to get high enough within the quota to advance in rank, right? So for me, of course, that was stressful. But once I got out of the military and I was like, okay, I still want to pursue, can finish my degrees, I started looking into other ways to just kind of help relieve or alleviate as much stress as I could. Now, you will notice that there are 2 exercises in front of you, and I wanted to make sure that I got them correctly. So I went to the site positivepsychology.com to get them correct as I go through this with you. Now, the very first one we're going to do is called the 5 senses exercise. The exercise is called 5 senses and provides guidelines on practicing mindfulness quickly in nearly any type of situation. All that is needed is to just notice something you're experiencing with each of the 5 senses. Okay, so you notice 5 things that you can see. You're looking around and you're bringing your attention to 5 things you can see. You're picking something that you normally notice or you normally don't notice, like a shadow or a small crack in the concrete. It could be maybe a picture that's leaning that you hadn't noticed before, but you're picking 5 things. Once you've done that, you pick 4 things you can feel. So you're bringing your awareness. You are touching something like maybe the texture of your pants, the feeling of breeze on your skin, or the smooth surface of a table that you could be potentially resting your hands on. But you're noticing 4 things that you can feel. Then you take a moment to listen and note 3 things that you can hear in the background. This can be the chirp of a bird, the hum of the refrigerator, or the faint sounds of traffic from a nearby road. Once you've done that, you bring your awareness to smells that you usually filter out, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant. Perhaps the breeze is carrying a whiff of a pine tree if you're outside, or the smell of a fast food restaurant across the street. Then you focus one thing that you can taste right now at that moment, at this moment. You can sip a drink of water. Maybe you are chewing on a piece of gum. You're eating something. You're noticing the current taste in your mouth, or even open up your mouth to kind of search the taste of air. Now, this is a quick and relatively easy exercise to bring you to a mindful state quickly. If you only have a minute or two, or don't have time or tools to try to do like a full body scan, the 5 sense exercise can help you just bring awareness to the current moment in a very short amount of time. The next exercise is the 3-minute breathing space. Now, unlike meditations or a body scan, this exercise is quick to perform and it's useful in getting a mindfulness practice just started. Like if you've never done it before and you want to kind of like find a way, this is an excellent introduction. Now, with meditations and body scans, you will have thoughts often pop up, and keeping a quiet and clear head can actually be a challenge. So this, again, is a perfect exercise technique for those with busy lives and minds, like mine that's constantly racing. The exercise is broken into 3 sections, 1 per minute, and it works like this. The very first minute is spent on answering the question, how am I doing right now? And you're focusing on your feelings, your thoughts, and sensations that arise, and trying to give these words and phrases. The second minute is spent on keeping awareness of your breath. You're just breathing normally, nothing too crazy, but you're aware that you're breathing. The last minute is used for expansion of attention outward from the breath, feeling the ways in which your breathing affects the rest of your body. Now, keeping a quiet mind can be rather challenging, and thoughts will often pop up. The idea is not to block them, but rather to let them into your mind and then disappear again. But you want to try to observe them. So these 2 exercises can be used for any time where you're just like, I need a moment, right? The most important part of mindfulness is to just recognize that it is training of the mind. And like any exercise, it will take some time to really see the full benefits. The trick is to persevere, approach the process with self-compassion, be gentle with yourselves, and allow for reflection, change, and flexibility between different techniques and interventions. I hope these 2 are helpful. If you have made it to this portion in the video, thank you. Again, you made it. We're the end of module 6, week 11. Good luck on your final. I know you've got it. And if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out. Onward to module 7. Have a good night.